I am Kendra Anuli Burrell, the creative mind behind the Lightworker Institute. Today we'll be doing a quick lecture on German chamomile. German chamomile has a Latin name of Matricaria bracata. When you're working with herbal medicine, it's really important that you get to understand the herb itself, right? So, one of the things or one of the tests that we as herbalists could use to get to know a herb is called the organoleptic testing of an herb. You want to be able to pinpoint all of the characteristics of the herb. When you do this, not only do you begin to understand how to identify herbs, but you also begin to understand how to set them apart um, and really identify or hone those senses when you're studying the different types of species of a particular herb. So with this particular test, you want to make sure that you're looking at the shape of your herbs. You want to make sure that you understand the sample organization, which means is your herb clumpy? Um, does it look like sticks or loose leaves? Things like that. You also want to note the color of the herb. And you might want to also ask yourself, um, is there a difference between the dry components of an herb versus the fresh components of the herb? Texture of your herb is very important as well too. When you learn the true nature and the true texture of your herb, you'll be able to properly identify whether or not the herb has been preserved within the best quality of state, so to speak. You also want to note the aroma of your herb. And all of these points of testing helps you properly identify and assign herbs with emotion or um, feeling inside of your body, right? All of our senses are different, and this is just a fun and cool way to be able to understand what a particular herb means for you. Here you can see an example of my own organoleptic testing. Let's talk common uses. Chamomile can be used commonly for heartburn, poor digestion, and stress and anxiety. Up next, let's talk contraindications and therapeutic action. Although Roman chamomile and German chamomile share some of the same sedative abilities, it's important to note that Roman chamomile can be an abortive facet and an emmenagogen, right? So this means it has the ability to hurt a fetus um, during pregnancy, and we do not want that, right? We want to make sure that all of the herbs that we are selecting for our bodies as women are going to nourish us. Because I am a advocate for women's health. This is one of the reasons why I started the journey of being formally trained when it comes to herbal medicine. So we want to make sure that at any point in our lives, whether we are trying to conceive, we have conceived, or we are lactating, or giving herbs to our children or our family members, that we also always look at the common names of an herb. It's important to look for the Latin binomial of an herb because some herbs sound the same, right? Because they're from the same family, but they may not always share some of the same therapeutic actions, and they may not always interact within um, all of our bodies the same as someone else's. So it's very important to note country indications. And also, it's very important to let your physician know that you are thinking about taking some of these medications. Be wary of herbalists who claim to treat, cure, or diagnose. That is not in our job description as herbalists, and certainly not in my job description as an herbalist or as a doula. But my job is to educate. So if my clients are going to use herbal medicine, I want to make sure that I'm arming them with all of the information that they need. So you want to know, make sure you know the common names. You want to make sure you know the Latin name for that common plant that you're wanting to use. And you also want to make sure that you understand the therapeutic actions and the country indications along with that herb to make sure you're getting the full potential of whatever it is that you're looking to get out of this particular plant. I really enjoyed